Welcome. I'm Mark Henry. I'm the co-host today, and you're watching Retire Smart Maryland. And that means, of course, I'm here, as you see, every single week with Prashant. I'm not even going to make an attempt on this last name. Go ahead and give it to the audience for me.
Sabapathi.
Of course, I could have done that.
Yeah.
But listen, I've been friends with you for a very long time, and obviously I'm not Cynthia DeFazio, your normal co-host. But when I found out that she was out and you said, Mark, would you mind stepping in? I was honored to do it, because y'all are running a crazy cool practice up here in Maryland.
Yeah, it absolutely has been great. I'm so glad that you were able to join us.
I'm happy about it. It was like, well, I'm just honored. You know, y'all have this, and of course, the people watching right now in Maryland going, y'all, who is this guy? Yes, I'm from the South. Don't hate. Okay. And, but I've been in this industry a very long time. I've actually done hosting for shows all across the nation on the financial topics. But what you all are doing up there and helping so many people, the growth you've had has just been phenomenal.
It really has, and I think it's really because we try to look at retirement in a little bit of a different type of way, Mark. I mean, you know, what I found is that the way things were done 20 or 30 years ago, that's right, it just doesn't work anymore. You know, it's totally different. The world is a completely different place. And so, you know, I'm not saying that we're better, that we're worse or anything like that. We just look at things a little bit differently. Well,
we've got a lot to cover today, but again, it's an unscripted show. But before we do, I think one of the things that I've known you now for several years, go to the same meetings and topics and conferences and all the stuff in the industry, and we've become friends. But one of the things that I think helps your practice so much, Ozzy too, is, you know, I grew up in Georgia. I was born and raised in Georgia and stuff, and you're obviously not from that little town called Snellville.
I'm definitely not.
You're not, and neither is Ozzy.
Yep.
And, you know, I've done this a long time. I think that's probably your greatest strength, that your big box firms on every corner can't compete with you on, because the way you were brought up, the way your parents came over to America and what they did and the struggles they've been through causes you to look at money differently than most of the people down there in Georgia where I'm from.
Yeah, it absolutely does. You know, my father told me he came to America just like most immigrants do. He came to America for the opportunity to provide his kids with a better life than what he had. And him and my mom and our family has really kind of lived up to that promise. And now
no question about it.
When I look at what our legacy is, it's a continuation of what mom and dad
I think that's an advantage that you bring and Ozzy brings that other firms just can't compete with. So we're going to have some fun today. So if you're new to the show, this is going to be very informational. It's a lot of fun and you're going to enjoy it. But we're going to talk about some tough subjects. But I want you to do this for me. I want you to get out a pen and paper, and you say, oh, I'm not taking notes. Are you kidding me? But listen, there's a game that I used to like to play as a kid, and I have 3 children, so it's been a long time. They're all getting older. But red light, green light, you know, yellow light, red light, green light. Everybody's played this game. So we're going to play this game, but I want to do this differently. I want you to answer these questions that I'm going to ask you, with the idea being, you know, not prepared, not ready, whatever. Red, caution, that's the yellow. Of course, green, they're good to go. But the people that you're seeing in Maryland, I want to see if there's any differences to what I'm seeing down there where I'm at in North Carolina. I'm in Charlotte, Myrtle Beach, that area. I want to see if the people that I'm seeing answer the questions the same way that people do in Maryland. So this is a challenge to everybody watching, and I think you're really going to enjoy this. So we're going to jump in. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right, so this is unrehearsed, but I think we're going to get some similar answers here. So the average person that comes in, you know, we're going to have an opportunity in a few minutes for people to call in and make an appointment to come in and see you. So of those people that are coming in, the average person watching right now, they've got this idea that maybe they want to retire at age 67, or maybe they want to retire in 5 years. How do you think they would answer this question? Do you think you'll be able to retire on time?
That's a good one. And, you know, I think on time means different things to different people,
it does.
right?
But when they planned, I would say.
When they planned.
On time. 30 years ago, they planned on retiring at a certain date. Now, with all the craziness in the world and the markets, do you think now they think they can retire on time?
For this one, I'm definitely going to go with the red light on this one, okay? And the reason I say that, Mark, is because so many people come in to visit, and they're always telling us, with everything going on in the market, we talk about the 401k becoming the 201k, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You talk about that. You talk about with the state of inflation. I mean,
it's out of control.
It's completely out of control. And I think it has, rightly so, a lot of people worried about whether or not they're actually going to be able to retire in the most fulfilling way possible on their own terms and on their own time.
And when they planned.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
So red light.
So at home, mark that down as what you think it is. And if you think we're way off here, I encourage you, when the numbers come on your screen, just pick up the phone and call and say, hey, I think they were wrong. I disagree. I would like to know what you really think about this. All right, let's move on to another one. The average person walking in, the people coming in to see you for the first time, have they calculated how much income they're going to need in retirement?
I'm going to go red light on this one again. Wow, 2 for 2 to start. So the reason I'm going to say red light, Mark, is because I think that this industry, the big box retailers, so to speak,
the ones we could, quote, compete with, it's not much of a competition.
Exactly.
But we are said we do compete with them.
Yep. And so what I think has happened in the last several years is the big box retailers have conditioned their clients to work towards a retirement number. How big does your portfolio need to be so that you can retire? But I think what people forget is that at the end of the day, it's all about your income. It's all about how much income is required to make your retirement go the way that you want to. So I got to say red light, and that's because people
Viewers
aren't
at home,
educated.
let's see what you put down on your paper. Is that a red, a maybe, is a yellow, or a green? No, you're good to go. All right, here we go. Do you know the most efficient, tax-efficient way to access your accounts? Meaning, where do you withdraw money from first? What's the most tax-efficient way to withdraw money out of your accounts?
Yeah, I would say red light on this one.
Another red light on that one.
Another red light.
We're going to have some yellows and greens in here, I guarantee you. But let me tell you, the people in North Carolina, this is one that I had someone actually say to me the other day. They said, Mark, we've been watching your show for a long time. And they said, why is it that the big box firms, the ones on every street corner, absolutely will not have anything to do with taxes?
Yep.
They say, go consult somebody else. Go see somebody else. We'll manage your money, but we won't talk to you about taxes.
Yeah.
How could you possibly think you're prepared for retirement if your financial planner won't even discuss taxes with you?
Yeah, I think that's a huge concern, right? And
I mean, right there. Do I need another financial partner? No. Do they discuss taxes? No. Yes, you need to know there's somebody else, right? I mean, how hard is this, right?
And you know what? The folks that come in to visit with us, they do a great job of saving money. But what they don't have is they don't have like a real written plan in place.
A tax-efficient plan.
To figure out when they're going to withdraw it and where they're going to withdraw it.
Let's try to squeeze one more in here. This is this one's going to be pretty cool. So in the last 2 years, I'm skipping one because this is a short one, but in the last 2 years, have you taken an inventory of all your household assets, and do you understand how each would be taxed in the event of your passing and things like that? So one, have you even got a list of all the household assets?
Yep.
So if you had a major catastrophe, the house burned down or something else, you're prepared for that because you have a list of all the household assets.
Yeah. And so for this one, I'm going to go yellow. Okay.
Tell me why.
The reason is I think people, they start that process. They think that they have all of their ducks in a row. Now, the reason I'm saying yellow and not green is I think that it could be more comprehensive with the folks that we see. So they start that process, but I don't think that it's nearly as thorough as it needs to be in the event of a catastrophic situation. And the other thing I'll add real quick is I don't know that people's spouses or partners are enough involved in the process so that when something happens
all the same
to you,
page, they know where
everyone's on the same page.
And let me tell you, that's a hard time to have to find something out. Isn't
Absolutely.
It? They're talking to me here. That Randy guy's already telling me we got to go to break. Listen, if you don't mind, I'm going to make a special offer for the people watching today. So I'm going out on a limb here, but I know you'll agree with this because you're not going to have a choice because I'm doing it anyway. So here you go. Here's the offer we have for you today. If you'll pick up the phone right now and dial this number that's on your screen, 833-308-5200. Again, that number is 833-308-5200. Here's what we have. For the lucky next 15 callers, If you've saved $250,000 or more for retirement, don't miss this. You will be able to come in, book an appointment. It's not a toll-free helpline. Have your appointment book ready. Operators are currently standing by. You must be one of the first 15 callers. You can come in, sit down with a licensed fiduciary, just like Prashant, and his team will build you a retirement plan done by a certified financial planner. Now, I've seen others charge $3,000 and $4,000 for a plan done by a certified financial planner. He's going to give this away to you. Retire Smart, Maryland. Do this. They're going to give it away to you absolutely free. You heard it from me here first. It will be absolutely free. If your brother-in-law is managing your money, let him keep managing it. But have a plan done by a certified financial planner. And if you're a cheapskate like me, you don't want to pay for it. Now's your chance. You got to be one of the first 15 callers. Get off the couch and do this for me right now. 833-308-5200. Stay tuned. We've got so much more coming up on Retire Smart, Maryland.
Before COVID, we were around 4 or 5 people.
It's a pretty tight-knit team that we have.
But now we are growing and we have about 14 people right now.
It's really 4 or 5 advisors and 4 or 5 support folks, plus an accountant, CPA.
What I'm trying to really create is the family place that everyone loves what they do and enjoys helping the client. My parents, when they had their own company with my father, everybody liked to work because he liked to take care of the people, he likes to help the people, and I'm trying to establish the same thing in our company.
It's very much a team, kind of family-like culture at our company. You know, we hang out outside of work. We care a lot about each other's personal lives as well.
Welcome back to Retire Smart, Maryland. I'm your co-host today, Mark Henry. No, I'm not Cynthia, but I am Mark Henry, and I'm joined, of course, with Prashant, one of the founders of Retire Smart, Maryland. And, man, I am having so much fun. We're playing a game. If you just tuned in, we're playing red light, green light, and we're having a good time. And that's what this is all about, because let me tell you, you work 20, 30 years to put yourself in a position to walk away from work, maybe do something you love, something you're more passionate about. Maybe it's completely retire. And unfortunately, it becomes so stressful. And because we've already done 4 questions on this little sheet I came up with, and we've got 3 reds and a green, or yellow. 3 reds and a yellow. That's not the way you want to play that game. All right, so I'm going to throw another one at you. You ready?
Yep.
All right, here's your retirement income plan. Now, first off, if you're watching right now, this is already a red one for you. You say, Mark, you haven't answered the question. No, I haven't, but guess what you don't have? A retirement income plan. They're called elite income advisors for a reason. Do not start. That monthly statement that you get mailed from that big box firm you're currently working with is not an income plan. So right there, we got a red light. But let me ask you, has your retirement income plan passed the stress test for these things? Continued increases in the cost of living. Okay, that's going to be a big one in this inflationary period we're in, correct?
Yes, it is.
All right, market volatility.
We've seen a lot
Any
of
that going on?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Interest rate fluctuations.
Okay, that's a big one
And
recently.
the Fed keeps doing it to us, right?
Yes, they do. Yep.
Another recession, which is right around the corner, or we're already in it, in my humble opinion as an economist.
Totally agreed.
Longevity.
Yep.
Do you know it's going to last for 30 years of a retirement?
Right.
How about this? Unexpected loss of a loved one or a spouse.
Yep.
And you say, well, wait a second, what do you mean? Well, wait, when someone passes away, several things happen.
Yep.
You used to file taxes. How did you file?
Married jointly, yeah.
Okay. And now how are you filing next week?
You're filing single,
and
individual.
that's the highest tax bracket there is.
Absolutely.
How come your big box retail firm that supposedly did a plan for you never discussed this with you, that you would now have less income and be paying more taxes?
Yep. That's exactly right. And so to answer your question,
is this a red light?
I'm going red light for
red
sure.
Red light all the way. And
one.
you at home, my earpiece is coming out, but you at home know this is a problem for you. If you don't have a plan that covers cost of living adjustments in your income, market volatility, interest rate fluctuations. You don't have a retirement plan.
Yeah, and you know what? I see so many people that come in and they think that they have a plan, and then I say, that's great, why don't you show it? And they pull out their statements that they get. Just like you said, every month, where on that statement does it show you how much income you can take out without ever running out of money?
Think about this. Where does it show you? I've looked at thousands of statements in my career, just like you have.
Yep.
Where does it show you how much money you can withdraw,
Yep.
adjusted for inflation,
Yep.
after taxation,
Yeah.
and not run out of money at 95 years old?
I haven't
now,
seen
that's
that
a statement I want to see.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, that'd be one I'd be like, okay, that's a pretty good statement here.
Yep.
Right?
I haven't seen it yet.
People don't know.
That's right.
And they've been fooled into believing the retirement plan is the things they're getting mailed every month.
Yep.
That is not a retirement plan.
It's not a plan.
That's not one done by a certified financial
Nope.
planner, that's for sure.
That's right.
All right, how about this? In the last 2 years, have you completed an inventory of all your debts and all your liabilities? Do you have a current balance sheet?
So I'm going to go back to the yellow on this
Yeah,
one.
I think some people might.
Yep, I think some people
They might have bought a house recently or something, and but a lot of people don't.
Right, and what I think is, just go back to the last yellow that we had. Is I think it's incomplete, and I think people are not on the same page
They're
with
not
their
equally
spouse.
yoked.
Yep.
And that's a big deal
Yeah,
because, look, that's
absolutely.
why, and I know you're just like me when it comes to this, we can't require people to do anything in this crazy world.
Yep.
But I know the people watching, when they come in for this great opportunity we're going to give them, and I know I'm giving away free financial plans done by certified financial planner. That's a big expense. But we're going to do that. But when they come in, you don't want one person coming in the relationship. You want
Both of them.
why?
Because at some point, one of those people is not going to be there.
Okay.
And when you're dealing with that person not being there, the last thing that you need is
Surprises.
the financial stress
Surprises.
and surprise of trying to pick up the pieces.
It just is so much easier. And quite honestly, typically in most relationships, there's one person, one of the partners, was more of the money person.
Yep.
That's okay. The other one brought other things to the table.
Yep.
But I can tell you, when both people see it in writing, done by a plan, done by a certified financial planner, you've seen this. All of a sudden they go, oh, we did better than I thought. Oh, hey, good job. This is like a high tide rises all boats, right? And so they get in there and all of a sudden they're like, oh, this is pretty good. Yeah, we did that.
Yep.
We did that.
Yep.
And it's just so empowering when they get this done, is it not?
It is. I got to say, it's the best part of the job. It
is the best part of the
being
job.
able to sit down and really show somebody how they can make their retirement dreams come true. Best part of the job.
All right, let's jump into one more before we have to go back to commercial break. I love this one. Is your will, if you have one, your trust and your estate plan coordinated with your current financial partner, planner, big box retail firm?
I got to say, red light again.
100% red light.
I got to say red light, and that's because of what we talked about earlier. Your financial planner's going and telling you, go get the estate plan.
Done by somebody else.
Done by somebody else. And the biggest thing is that the financial planner doesn't talk to the estate planner.
How does that work?
You know what I mean? Like, everything
And
needs
here's
to be
the thing.
coordinated.
I know how busy I am in my life, and I took time out to come do this show with you because I chose to. This was important to me. I wanted to be here today. I know what job Ozzy and Prashant are doing for the people of Maryland. I've been around him now for 3 or 4 years, and having an opportunity to get on this show and talk about that was something I was passionate about. But I'm busy.
Yeah.
So, and I know the people in Maryland, you're just like the people down there in North Carolina where I'm from. You're busy. So the idea is you're supposed to go meet with the big box firm on the corner and talk about how your money's doing. Not too good, probably. But you got to go down there and talk to them. Then you got to go find somebody to talk about doing wills and power of attorneys and estates and all that. Oh, at some point you're going to turn 65. Let's go talk to somebody about getting some Medicare insurance. Oh, well, we may need actually the wills and estates and trusts. Oh, and we got to know when to turn Social Security on. Let's go find somebody to help us do that. Who has time for all that?
Yeah.
That's why elite income advisors exist, because you can help them with all of that if they become a client, if you choose to work with them. And you're a fee-based firm.
Yep.
So you don't take everybody.
Yep.
Those big box retailers, if you can fog a mirror, they'll say yes.
Yep.
That's not how you work.
No.
And I love that, because you should not want to work with everybody that if they would take everybody walking in the door, that's not the firm for you. You want a firm that's choosy. And let me tell you why, because I've heard you say it. If you don't think you can help them, you're going to turn them down.
Yeah, it's all about being the right fit for somebody.
I
And
love
that's
that
why,
about you. It's okay to say no.
Absolutely. And when you come in to visit with us, by the way, you're not coming in agreeing to do business with us. We're
Not at all.
agreeing to
just agreeing to do a plan.
Exactly.
Well, we got to get this break in. We're running way behind, but I got passionate on that. 833-308-5200. Write that number down, or better yet, just pick up the phone, get off the couch, and call it right now. If you've saved $250,000 or more for retirement, this is for you. His team of certified financial planners will build you a complete retirement plan, put it in your hands in writing, and you won't have to pay for it. I've seen other firms across the nation charge $2,000, $3,000, and $4,000. You'll get it absolutely 100% free. You heard it from me, 100% free. All you have to do is get your appointment book out, pick up the phone, make an appointment, have the confidence and the courage to get a second opinion. Come in and get your written plan done by a certified financial planner and don't pay for it. 833-308-5200. Stay tuned. We have more coming up right now.
Some people don't really know what they need. It's not about the money. It's more like what you like to do when you retire.
I always say to people, our process is not really designed to turn every single person into a client. We're just trying to determine whether or not we're the right fit for you. When we talk with someone, it's about determining what our goals and dreams and objectives are, and then really putting together a concrete, balanced plan with a strong foundation of income.
Not everyone comes to the office becomes a client, right? You know, we may not be a good fit for that people.
Anytime you're working with any advisor or considering working with an advisor, you have to align on certain things. But that doesn't happen with every single person that we meet with.
Whatever is going to make you happy, because there is so much time in the retirement that you can still be active and doing a lot of stuff. And at the end, if you have all the income you need coming in to do all the things you love, then I believe that you are in great shape.
Welcome back to Retire Smart Maryland. I'm your co-host, Mark Henry. Of course, I'm joined with Prashant, one of the CEOs and founders of Retire Smart Maryland. I wish Ozzy was with us today, because we need him right here. This is a good show, and he'd have a lot of fun with this. But I was so honored to be on. I said that earlier, but I'm having a great time. I want to try to get a few more of these in. But before I do, I know I've got some of your books and stuff here, and I know, you don't give out these free books and stuff. You're not some cookie cutter firm, but the fact that you're such an expert in this field, retire abundantly. I love that word, abundantly. And abundantly, I know this about you, but abundantly is not tied to a dollar amount.
No, it's not.
You told me you've seen people that have what some people would consider not enough money for retirement retire very abundantly because how they've lived their life and what their expectations are. But you've seen others, in contrast, that have a very large number, and they're not. It's no retire X and abundantly X, right?
Exactly.
And then I love this one: fiscal health, retirement wealth.
Yep. And that's
You've done a great job here. The education of what you've done to put this on, the people of Maryland are honored to be able to have you, to be able to help them and Ozzy.
Mark. Yeah, appreciate it.
And I mean that sincerely. I wouldn't have done the show if I didn't really truly believe that. Let's try to get a couple more questions in. We're playing red light, green light. And if you've been watching for the entire show, you've already got some red lights. We're going to have one more opportunity for you to call in. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. It's exactly what we say it is. You're going to be able to come in, sit down with a licensed fiduciary, get your questions answered, and then walk away on the second appointment with a written retirement plan done by a certified financial planner. You know you need it. You know you want it. You're going to have an opportunity to get it. Let's try to squeeze another question or two in. Do you know, and I'm asking you in Maryland, do you know exactly what you will pay this year in your management and planning fees, and also all the hidden fees in your plan?
Hidden fees.
The little termites that eat up the returns. You wonder why you're not getting the returns other people seem to be getting, and then you find out you've got all kinds of 12B1 and mutual fund fees and all kinds of expenses you didn't know about.
Yeah.
Do you know exactly? And people, you don't know.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest, you don't know. How often do you see people surprised?
Surprised all the time.
Daily.
Almost every single appointment, it feels like.
How about this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you know what the standard deviation is in your current plan, if you even have a plan? Your current portfolio, your 401k, your 403. Do you know what the standard deviation is? And do you know what that term means? What is that?
I would say red light on that, and that's a function of risk. And here's what I think the big box retailers have done a disservice when it comes to risk is how often do you hear the stories of people going into a financial advisor and their advisor says, hey, Mark, what kind of investor are you? Are you conservative? Are you moderate?
I'm a moderate.
You're moderate. Okay, great.
A moderate.
Well, what does that actually mean?
What does it tell me? Listen to me. Listen, Marilyn. Do you hear this? He's opening up the screen. He's looking behind. Remember the Wizard of Oz? It really wasn't that impressive when you look behind there. This idea of I want a conservative portfolio. Okay, so when it loses 30%, you're okay with that. You have $1 million, and when your $1 million turns into $700,000, you're okay with that, right?
That doesn't sound conservative to me.
But it might to somebody else.
It very well might to somebody else.
That's the problem. We have to put this in real numbers, in real data that people can quantify and know exactly what risk they're taking. And standard deviation is a measure of risk that you can show them exactly and explain it to them in a way that they can understand.
I think every single person should look at their retirement portfolio and understand one thing. When the market goes down, how much can you lose before you begin to feel uncomfortable?
And not hypothetically.
Yeah.
With real data.
Real data.
All right. Randy's telling me we got to go. You got to talk to the networks. I think this show needs to be an hour.
I would love
We got to talk to them because your show gets great ratings or you wouldn't still be on.
Yeah.
I think we got to talk to them. Listen, there's only a few seconds left. Do this for me right now. 833-308-5200. 833-308-5200. If you're one of the lucky next 15 callers, Prashant's team of certified financial planners will create a written retirement plan and give it to you absolutely free. I've seen others pay $2,000, $3,000, and even $4,000 for a plan done by a certified financial planner. He's willing to give it away absolutely free if you've saved $250,000 or more. All you have to do is have the confidence and the courage to get what you know you need and what you know you deserve, a written retirement plan. And if you will, do one more thing. If you've enjoyed the show today, I want to come back out here and film another one with Prashant. So call in and say, hey, get that guy from North Carolina back on that show, okay? Hey, thanks for watching today, and please tune in again next week for an amazing episode of Retire Smart, Maryland.